morning, this is Joy from Enjoy Fitness 43, and today we're going to be doing a weighted workout. So you're going to need 2 weights and a mat and some water for this workout. So we're going to start with a warm-up. So let's go ahead and just take one arm back of your choosing. You can do the same arm as me if you want to. And let's take it forward. Nice big stretch here. Let's go within your comfort zone. Okay, let's take the other arm back. So we go back first, really thinking about working with that shoulder and your waistline. And then let's take it forward. Good. Okay, let's cross them over. Just working on that chest and those shoulders. Good. And then let's go ahead and swing them up and back. Good. Keep going. Okay, now we're going to bring you in front and try to touch those elbows and then open nice and wide. Really press those elbows back. Good. Keep going. Make sure you're breathing. Knees are slightly bent, so we don't ever want to be pushing those knees back. Oh, see that difference? When I press my knees back, knees are always slightly bent. I want to really work on keeping the blood flowing. Okay, so now we're going to bend over. We're going to open those arms. So little, big. So making a big V out in front of you. Bent over at the hips. My back is nice and flat. Looking up, I'm not looking down because that's going to put a little hump in my back. So I want to look up at you. Good. One more. Okay, let's roll up nice and slow. Let's work on those arms or their hands or wrists because we are going to be holding weights. Go the other way. Open and close. Ooh, that was good until all of a sudden that's not good. Okay, now we're going to put the hands together and you're going to push your fingers back and forth. Can you see that? There you go, pushing the fingers back and forth. Lots of people lose the flexibility in their hands, and we want to keep that flexibility. So you can go slower than me because I do this a lot, so I'm used to it, but you might want to slow it down a little bit if you're not used to pressing those fingers back. Okay, open and close again. Let's make little O's. I touch the nail of the finger to get a good O, or you can touch the pad of your finger to get that O, that okay. Good. Okay, let's shake out those hands. Really good. Okay, let's move on to the waistline now. So we're going to start with just a nice gentle Russian twist, or just a rotation, either one, through that waistline. Okay, now we're just going to slide down. So we just slide and slide. Just get that little pinch in that waistline as we go from side to side, and elongation on the other side. Okay, now we're going to reach up. Reaching the fingertips towards the ceiling. And again, you're still getting a little pinch, and you're also getting a stretch on each side. Pinch here, stretch there. See the difference? Going the opposite direction. Okay, now we're going to go like a wood chop. So reach to the side and come down. Maybe you're picking fruit and coming down. And we're going to start the other side. Reach up, pick that fruit. Okay, now we're going to do a good morning. So I'm going to turn to the side. I'm going to bend my knees a little bit. I'm going to just put my fingertips behind my ears, and I'm just going to bend over to parallel with the floor, and then I'm going to come back up. So now I'm working the waistline still, supporting that lower back. Just coming down, coming up, because your lower back is still part of your ab girdle, so we might want to work that. Up we go, bending over again. Up we go. Ah, feels good. And up. And one more time. And up. Okay, so let's work the legs. So we're going to start with the basic squat. So chin up, chest up, bending at the knees. And so weights in the heels, not the toes. So I don't want to see this where your knees come out. So let's look at the difference. Tushies going back, weights in the heels. Weights in the toes, knees are coming forward. So we don't want your squat to be where your knees come forward. We want your squat to be where your tush goes back. Some people are real good and can keep their chest up a lot higher than I can. I just fold over. So if you can sit up higher, that's great. Just keep doing it, okay? So I'm just gonna keep going down and back. Thinking about, I'm gonna even lift my toes. Can you see that? My toes are lifted. So I don't have shoes on today because I'm on a cushy floor and I'm not going to use super heavy weights. So I have my nice mat here. So I won't be doing anything real dangerous that I need shoes for. Sometimes it's fun to go barefoot when you're weightlifting, but you know, you have to do what's best for your feet. Okay, one more time. Okay, so now we're just going to go into a reverse lunge. So a lunge, meaning your leg is going to be straight as it goes back. And I'm going to use my arms too because it helps me stay balanced. And I'm thinking about stepping my foot behind my shoulder and making sure I'm not crossing over behind me as I step back into like a curtsy lunge, which is perfectly good when you're trying to do a curtsy lunge. But when you're trying to do just regular straight back lunge, you need to think about what you're doing. Trying to get that leg back there pretty far each time. Good, nice straight leg. Good, okay, so now I'm gonna come in front and we're just gonna do a side lunge. So out to the side, now I'm gonna come up and go to the other side. Good. So of course there's the lunge too, where we would just alternate our weight from side to side. That's a good one too. Maybe you're in a smaller space than I am and you want to just go from side to side like this, and that's perfectly good too. This way I think I get a little bit more of a stretch during my warm-up when I'm going from side to side like this. Feel it a little bit more in that inner thigh and a little bit more in that hip. Almost there. One more time. Good. Okay, so now we're going to do a plie. So we're going to stick our toes out like a ballerina. And we're just going to go down and up. And again, everybody's different because of their knees on how far they can go down. Now, avoid this though. Tip it over when you do it because that kind of negates what a plie is for. So pretend like or you can get up against the wall and we're just going to bend those knees so we're straight down and come up. And then you really squeeze the quad and then squeeze the tush at the very end. With a regular squat, we squeeze that tush when we come up, But with a plie, we squeeze the quad, then the tush. There you go. A few more. Last one. Good. Okay, so now we're going to bend those toes. So we're going to go up on the heel like you're wearing a high heel. So nice and slow. This is why I like to do this one barefoot sometimes, because it really allows me to really bend my toes. Sometimes your tennis shoe bottom is too stiff. And it's that way to protect your foot, but it doesn't allow your foot to bend like it should. And sometimes I really want that toe to bend so I can get full flexibility in the bottom of my foot. Okay, now I'm going to bring it up and I'm going to go round and round and work that ankle. And then back around the other way. And then take the other foot up. Okay, round and around. Trying to make a circle with my knee and with my heel. And then back around the other way. Okay, nice. Okay, now I'm going to roll them the other way. Just for grins and giggles. Maybe you have tennis shoes on and you can't do this. But food for thought. When you have the opportunity, like say you just got out of the shower, maybe you're brushing your hair, brushing your teeth, and you're still barefoot and you have a nice cushy rug underneath you, maybe you should try to roll your feet forward like this. First time you do it, first couple times you do it, you might think, wow, that does not feel comfortable. But then after you do it a while, and you can get those toes under like this, good for the top of the foot. Stretches all the way through, up through the front of the leg, through the shin, through the top of the foot. Really helps. So if you get arthritis in your feet and your toes, the more you move them, the better it is. So I'm going to put a little more weight into it. There we go. I like to feel that stretch through there. Whew. Okay, going to wiggle my toes. Okay, we're good to go. And we're going to start our workout. So we're going to start with upper body. And we're going to do 5 exercises for the upper body. Then we're going to do 5 exercises for the waistline. And we're going to do 5 exercises for the lower body. So I'm going to change just one thing on my timer. I'm going to get it down to 10 reps. 10 reps, 10 rounds. That's it. Because we're going to do 5 exercises 2 times each. I need to take this off and this off. That way I don't have these on when I'm weightlifting. So just food for thought. Weights wear rings out. So if you're wearing a ring, you might want to take that off before you start lifting weights. Even if they're rubber weights, like these are rubber weights, but if you have metal weights, absolutely you want to take them off. So we're going to do 50 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. So we're going to start knees bent over, and we're going to make that little V like we did at the very beginning when we did our warm-up, okay? So we're going to work that upper back with that V. Good. Nice exercise for that back right there. It goes all the way down the middle of the back. So it's going to work from the top of your back all the way down towards your tailbone almost, okay? All the way through that middle of the back on each side of the spine. So make sure you're bent over just a little bit. And you only want to go about shoulder height when you do it. So you're making that V. So don't feel like you have to lift it real high. So I only have 5-pound weights. Oh, and we're working for 50 seconds. So it's a long time. So we're going to do Zotzman's curls. And bend the knees a little bit, roll the shoulders down and back. We're going to come up, turn, and bring them back down. So working the bicep with the Zotzman's curl. Very good. Nice. This is a really good one. It gets the front, the forearm, and it gets the bicep at the same time. So, and we're not doing it super fast. We want to use that tension that we build up with going kind of slow. Good. I like this. So take your time with it. And remember, we're going to do everything twice through. Alrighty. Okay, we're going to do triceps next. And we're going to do that kickback. So we're going to bring the elbows back behind, bend at the knees, tip over, and we're going to take them both back. Okay, so if you have really heavy weights, if you have heavier weights than I do, you can alternate your arms because sometimes if you try to do them both at the same time, you don't get back as far if you have heavier weights. So do one arm at a time. That way it gives one arm a little bit of a break. So you take it back, and we're gonna hold it, you hold it there for like a microsecond so that you can get that tension on that muscle. And it works that tricep just a little bit extra. Good. That's good. Okay, I'm gonna bring my head forward again because having it tilted like that, it's not necessarily good for you while you're exercising. Alrighty, so we're gonna do the shoulders now. So we're gonna go front raise into a lateral raise. Okay, so bend those knees a little bit, roll the shoulders down and back. So we're gonna do front raise into a lateral raise. And again, if doing them both at the same time is too much for you, then you can alternate the exercise. You can do one arm at a time. So I'll show you. So you do one arm, and then you do the other arm, okay? If two is too much, because if you have heavier weights, then you don't want it to be sloppy, and you don't want to be swinging like this to get those weights up, okay? So slower is better, and in full control is better. And again, we're only going shoulder height. Shoulder height, shoulder height. You don't want to swing them all the way up to the top of your head. All right, so we've done, okay, our chest is the last thing. Woo. So let's get down on the floor for this one. Okay, we're gonna do a fly, okay, and turn it into a chest press, and turn it, fly. It's kind of nice to get them both in there. And when you're doing this, I want you to really think about pushing your belly button down and then squeezing those chest muscles together as they get to the top. And squeeze. Good. Fly. Okay, elbows out. Squeeze. I like this combination, especially because we have a lot of time to work out instead of just doing 8 reps. I have lighter weights, and then I feel I get more bang for my buck here with this exercise for the chest. Alrighty, so that's all 5. So we're gonna start all over again, and we'll start with the back. Alrighty, so knees bent, and we're making that V again. Okay, the V, and back down. Am I crooked? There we go, I'm crooked. Whew. Feeling it. Might have to, it's getting a little warm in my room. Change here in a second. But that's okay. I have a shirt under my shirt. Okay, up and down. That's it. Up and down we go. And again, we're not doing it super fast. We're not just throwing our arms up. I'm lifting and then slowly lowering them back down. I'm not just letting them fall. So I want to feel that tension all the way. Okay, let's do the Zotzman's curl. Okay, so we bring it up first this way. Okay, roll the shoulders down and back. Watch your posture the whole time. Knees are slightly bent. You want that chest forward. You don't want your shoulders rounded, okay? I want you to be good and have good posture during all this. Belly button's kind of tucked in. Okay, not kind of, it is tucked in. Okay, I gotta slow this down a little bit. There we go. Definitely feeling it in those biceps. Biceps are one of those weird muscles where you usually don't feel fatigue. You usually can do it or you can't anymore. Your biceps get nice and pumped up with blood when you work them out right. Okay. Good. Ah, okay, perfect. Okay, so we're gonna do our triceps next. Yeah, we'll do our triceps and then we'll do our shoulders. Okay, so elbows back, knees bent, press back, and then up. Remember that little hold. We're not just swinging our arms. Lots of people want to just swing their arms. Let's take our time. Up, press back. Up, press back. Good job. We are going to be on the ground for our ab exercises, just so you know. So you can be on a bed for them if you want to, or we're just going to go ahead and lay down because, you know, getting up and getting down is important to be able to do. But we're going to be down the entire time. All right. Okay, so now we're going to do the front raise and side raise, okay? Roll the shoulders down and back to start with. Bend those knees a little bit. Get those arms ready. So front raise. Okay, side raise, or lateral raise. That's it, good. Now remember, if you're holding heavy weights, you can do one side and then the other. You can even do like this, and then this one out to the side, and then switch. Do this, and do this out to the side. So, whichever way floats your boat, makes it so that you're able to lift that heavy weight. Good. Nice. Okay, so our last one is going to be all the way on the ground. Okay, so I'm going to start with a fly. So my arms are going to be up, and I go all the way out as far as I can, turn my weights, bring my elbows out. So on the fly, if you have heavy weights, you know, depending on how heavy they are, you might only be able to go down a little ways, you know, and then bring it up for the chest press. You have to think, okay, how do my elbows feel, and how does my chest feel? So you just take it down as far as you can, and then exhale and bring it back up. Really use those abs to help you bring that weight back up. You know, exhale, push that belly button in, and think, wow, what a great ab workout I get at the same time that I'm doing my chest. You should be contracting those abs every time you press up. All right, so that's the end of our upper body workout. So we're gonna get a little drink, and look, we're already on the ground and we're ready for our abs. Okay, so make sure the water is not by your feet or your arms where you might accidentally hit it. I'm gonna go ahead and change a little bit here. There we go. And we're gonna get down on the floor and we're gonna get ready to do our lower body workout. So again, we're gonna do 5 exercises, and we're gonna do them 2 times through. So we're gonna get ourselves down here on the ground, and yes, we're gonna use our weights at the same time. Alrighty. So we're going to hold the weights above our chest. So whenever we bring our weights up like this, unless we're moving them, we need to hold them above our chest and not above our head, okay? So remember that when we're on the ground, and I'll remind you. So make sure that back is happy. So I like to lift up on my tush a little bit and then lower it down. Pull that belly button in. Make sure my back is nice and flat. So we're going to start with our legs, well, we're going to start with our legs up, our weight above our chest, and we're going to drop both legs down, and then we're just going to bring them up. So a nice leg lift. So if you cannot drop both legs down, you can drop your knees and then bring them out, okay? Do it like this. So otherwise, I want both legs down and up. So to make it harder, you lift your head up and you look up towards the ceiling, not at what your legs are doing. Okay, so this makes it a little bit harder. What it does is it engages your upper abs at the same time. So we're just going to drop those legs, and we're doing it nice and slow again. So remember, think about what your back feels like
as you're doing this. And if you need to go into knee pull-ins, then you can go into knee pull-ins. All right, so we're going to drop that head, okay? And we're going to bring those weights behind us. And we are going to do knee pull-ins, and we're going to lift our head up and bring those weights in, okay? And you're not going to touch your feet on the floor. You're going to extend the weight out in front, your feet out in front as the weights go behind you. There we go. And of course we're doing a little crunch here. So you're really going to feel it in those upper abs as well as the lower abs. Good. So we've done the leg, double leg raise, and now we're doing the pullover with a knee pull in. All right, so we're going to put one weight down, okay, and you're going to cross your right leg over so that it's here. We're going to put the weight here on our shoulder, our elbow is out, and we're just going to crunch, up. So I just put my hand here. It's just a placeholder. You can lay down on the floor. I just like to have it here because it feels better. And I'm not pulling myself up though, but I suppose if you get tired, you could help yourself up. But I have this weight on my chest, up on the shoulder, because it's going to make a huge difference on how much I weigh, and I'm crunching up to the side here. And then we're going to do the other side next, okay? Because I want you to do it twice through, so you really work those obliques as we do this workout, and we don't just do it once on each side. Okay, so we're going to do it on this side now, holding, and then the hand can go on the other side. And here we go. And make sure you breathe, exhale as you do that little crunch up. So this is what I call a number 4, because your legs kind of make a number 4, or you can call it a pigeon. In yoga we call it a pigeon. Remember, we're rotating, trying to get that shoulder towards that knee. No, we don't expect to touch. Okay, so now we're going to set the other weight down. We're going to roll over onto our tummy. We're going to put the hands up, like by our shoulders. We're going to come up, touch the hands in front, come back down. Come up, touch those hands in front, and come back down. So again, we're working on that lower back, and which is part of that ab girdle. So we've worked the obliques and the upper and lower abs, and now we're working that back. So all of these are a part of that ab girdle. Now, as I'm bringing myself up, I'm not pushing myself up with my hands. It's a light touch. I'm just light touch on the floor with my hands, and they're just waiting their turn to come up and touch in front. All right, so that's all 5 exercises. So let's do it one more time. All right, weight above the chest. I'm going to start with my legs up and come down. Okay, and then if you're able to, remember, you're going to bring that head up and you're going to look at the ceiling. You're not going to tip your chin down and like look at your thighs. You want to keep a clear view of the ceiling so that chin is vertical with the floor. And it's not fast up and down. I mean, you could try to do fast up and down, but it's just going to wreck your back. It's nice and slow. You want to be able to take a good breath, inhaling and exhaling. those weights above your chest also help ignite those those upper abs. Okay, so weights behind you. Okay, knees come in, arms come over, and you do a little crunch. And you try to keep those feet from touching the floor as you bring your legs out straight, parallel with the floor. Now the weights can come behind you and touch. Just a little tap before you bring them back. Nice little crunch in the center. Good. Feel how strong your abs feel as you pull yourself up. Make sure you get that nice exhale. Big inhale going back. It's going to help you stay strong throughout this whole exercise. Alrighty, that was good. Alrighty, so we're going to make that number 4. Okay, put it on. Oops, other leg joint. Okay, rest. And bring it up. Nice little crunch here to the side. Working on these side obliques right here, right on the outside of the midline of your abs, you know, looking for that 6-pack abs. Now, everyone says, you know, can you get 6-pack abs by working out? No. I mean, you're going to define those muscles, absolutely, but you're not going to see them until you control how you eat. So, you know, the abs are made in the kitchen. So, you need to find a good eating plan that you can stay on for the rest of your life that's going to help you lean out. So, how do you do that? Okay, switch sides. Well, it's called eating vegetables that are not starchy and eating lean meat, a few fruits, berries are best, limiting your non-complex carbs, your things like bread, limiting those to a bare minimum, and regular sugar, you know, trying to go as sugar-free as you possibly can. And then also, believe it or not, watching how much dairy you do. Now, fat's not bad for you, but fat has a lot of calories in it. But you do need to eat enough, so, you know, pack on those veggies as much as you possibly can. And you have to eat. Don't starve yourself either. Okay, so we had that. Oh, now we're going to turn over. Let's turn over. And here we go. We lift, reach, and come back down. Sometimes people starve themselves fat because then your body wants to hold on to everything that you eat. So believe it or not, if you let yourself eat a little bit more, you actually will lose weight. Sounds weird, I know. Make sure you drink plenty of water. Don't drink your calories away with fancy coffees or fruit smoothies or anything, because the fruit smoothies are deceptively high in calories and they cause a lot of inflammation in your body. So you're going to hold a lot of water and different things in your body. Alrighty. There's our second set of exercises. Okay, now we're going to do legs. Push this down. Alrighty. So let's stand up and get some legs done. So that's something to think about. Fruit in our body does not digest the way that you would think it would. That's why some people, when they eat fruit, it goes through them so quickly. It's not necessarily because of the roughage, it's because our body, our stomach is like, ooh, I don't like this, I want to get rid of it as quickly as possible. It's a toxin to us, and it causes inflammation in us. So doing fruit smoothies are fun to do every now and then, but it's not something that you should do on a regular basis because they do cause inflammation. So
something to think about, read about it. Okay, we're gonna start with a deadlift. So feet, a little wider than shoulder width apart, and we're gonna bend our knees for this because we're gonna work on our tushy for this one, okay? So we can all use tushy health because we gotta use that tush to balance, we gotta use it to walk, we gotta use it to sit up and sit back down, we gotta use it to get upstairs and to fill out our pants right, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and grab those weights. I can always use tushy work. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna bend our knees as we do our deadlift. See my knees bend? And we're gonna come back up. See how my booty goes out? So my back is straight. I'm looking out at the end of my mat, and I'm gonna come back up. I don't have a lot of weight, so I'm pushing my tush back. Come back up, squeeze, push. And when I'm coming down, I'm also thinking about making sure my weights go like where my heels are, the same distance that my heels are. They're not way out in front of my body. I'm pushing them back a little bit. Good, now so bend those knees. Bend, bend, bend. Nice flat back. Don't round your back. Come back up and squeeze everything. Squeezing, good. We're getting lots of reps in. Okay, perfect. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna do a squat. So hands out to the side. Okay, we're gonna go down as deep as we possibly can, okay? Come back up, squeeze the tush. So we have 50 seconds, and that squeeze at the top is what we're looking for. So depending on how low you can go, if you can't go as low as me, or if you can go lower than me, then we're gonna do that. Push up through the heels. So I'm gonna lift my toes and go squeeze at the top. Down we go. Squeeze at the top, because we want to work the tush health. Of course, we're also working quads and hamstrings and calves and lots of other things at the same time. Okay, good. Now, hopefully you have a chair or a wall or a couch. I should have mentioned that earlier. I'm just going to lean against this wall right here. And this leg is going to be bent just a little bit, okay? I'm going to leave the weight here. Now, I'm just lightly holding it so that weight is definitely being lifted by my leg and not by my arm. Now, of course, if you do this workout again and you want to slap on some ankle weights and have that weight down there at the bottom, whew, that'll definitely make this workout a little bit harder than having it way up here at the top. Because when you put the weight down at the bottom of that fulcrum point, it's going to be harder to do. So 2 pound, 3 pound, 5 pound weights, then it's going to make a huge difference. It's been a long time since I put on ankle weights. I know I have them, just would have to pull them out of storage. And then I'm going to run to the other wall. Running, oh look, I made it. Bend that supporting leg, put the weight on the other hip, and then I'm going to come up. There we go. Good, bring it up. So now we're working that outside thigh there, but we're also working the upper glute. Good, keep going. Just get that leg up. Nice. Lifting. Now remember, you're not, some people like to do this, and it's like, oh, you're kind of defeating the purpose. That weight's supposed to be on the hip or on the outside thigh so that you can lift it with your leg. So it gives it more weight to have to lift up. And yeah, you're going to feel it in that supporting leg. Oh, okay. So we're going to grab both weights again. And we're going to do an alternating curtsy. Okay? Okay, we're going to curtsy and do an extra curtsy with it, okay? So we're going to do 2 little curtsies. Good. And cross over. And cross over. So depending on how deep you can go. You know, listen to your knees, hips, ankles, everything. You might not want to go that low, but it doesn't matter. It's still going to do what it needs to do to that area. And we're getting right into the center of your glute with this one, deep inside. And whew, it's going to help round everything out. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start that deadlift again. So feet a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. Bend the knees. Set those weights down. Come back up. Squeeze the tush. And again. Bending the knees. Coming back up. Nice. Pull in that belly button. Nice flat back. Looking out in front of you. Remember, we have 50 seconds. Let's not rush this. This one especially because we are working with your hamstrings and your glutes. We don't want to rush anything because we want to make sure that all those muscles are happy when we're done. Okay, you might be a little sore, but we don't want to pull anything. We don't want to strain anything. Lifting my toes, making sure that that weight is where it's supposed to be. Coming back up. Nice. Okay, going down for that squat. Then coming up and squeezing my buns as tight as I can. Okay, here we go. Down we go. Up and squeeze. Down we go. Don't make me come in there and see if you're squeezing those buns at the top. That's the big point right there. This part right here. Squeeze. That's the key to this whole exercise is squeezing. Going down, really good because it stretches the muscles out, okay? And then pushing up through the heels, real important because then that gives you the right form. But that little squeeze at the top will do wonders. So you could, truthfully, stand here and just squeeze your tush and not even go down. Just give it a good squeeze, hold it for a couple seconds, and it would do wonders for you. Okay, against the wall, knee bent, okay? Weight on the leg and lift. So there was an exercise trend years ago, and we still do it today, isometric exercises, where you just squeezed a muscle group and held it for as long as you could. And it's still absolutely a viable way to exercise. So if you have limited mobility, you can still do that same thing. Concentrating on that muscle group and tensing it up, you know, whether it's your back, your biceps, triceps, chest, legs, abs, big toe, whatever. It's still a great way for you to exercise when you can't move it. Stretch it out. So it's, you know, try it sometimes when you're, you know, if you're sick and you just don't have the strength to get up, or you're recovering from an injury or whatever, and you don't have your normal range of motion or mobility, isometric, it'll do it. Just squeeze that. Oh, and I did it. Ooh, just got a little cramp in there. And it will work on that muscle for you. So, again, something to read about, research. It's really good. I used to have a whole book on it, but I think I've lost it over the years of our many moves and purging. I might have lent it to somebody. Oh, okay. Whew. Okay, last one. Let's curtsy. Boy, these went by fast. Probably because I'm talking so much, right? Okay, so curtsy, double, double, double. Ah, nice. Again, double. So I like to go down and I like to feel the tension in this outside hip when I go over in that spot I'm talking about. So I can usually feel it more in one side than the other because I obviously need it more in one side than the other. So you just have to go with what you have. Definitely feel it in my right side, not so much in my left. Maybe I need to go down further in my left. Am I not going down as far? Okay, there we go. Oh, shoot, and we're done. All right, let's get ourselves a drink of water. And let's do some good stretching, okay? So we have a wall or chair near us. So we're gonna go ahead, put our hand about shoulder, arm length away. Take that outside leg, bring it over, and then we're gonna bring the other arm over and we're gonna stick that hip out. And you're gonna try to reach the other arm over to touch the wall, okay? So it's a big stretch through that hip. Very nice. Have it there. So if you're on a chair, you know, and your hand's down on the chair or whatever, that's fine too. And you're just trying to reach over. As long as you're feeling a nice stretch through your hip and waistline, up maybe even through the shoulder, through the armpit, that's good. And we're gonna bring ourselves up. Okay, so we're gonna hold on still to that wall. You're gonna stick your tush out, and we're gonna keep the head above the heart because we just stopped, okay? We're not gonna go all the way down. But we're gonna keep those legs crossed. You're gonna feel that stretch through the back of the legs. And I'm just lightly, I'm not pushing my legs back, lightly having my hand on my legs, next in alignment with my spine. And then I'm gonna go ahead and bring myself up, and then I'm gonna unlock my legs. Now I'm gonna take advantage of the wall and go ahead and try to bring my leg up. Now this leg here is soft still, okay? I'm not pushing my knee back, standing up nice and tall. Good. So if you cannot reach back and do this, then you can just put your foot on the floor and do this one, okay? Where we're just kind of leaning forward and this leg's going back. So let me show you this side where I'm coming forward because I want you to get that hip flexor in there, okay? So if you're not ready for this one yet. Good, and then I'm gonna shake it out. And we're gonna do the other side now. So I'm gonna step over here. Outside leg goes over, okay? And we're gonna reach over. We're gonna stick the hip out, remember? And we're gonna try to touch the wall or into the nothingness, whichever we have. Good, just reach, reach. Get that mobility in there while we can, because it's important. Good, nice good stretch, keep breathing. Okay, we're gonna bring ourselves up. Okay, stay where you are. Okay, remember we're gonna lean forward just so that we're parallel with the floor. Head still stays above heart. And relaxing. That's it. Bringing that heart rate down. We should be good about now, right? If you're not, then that's okay. It'll come down. All right, we're going to bring ourselves back up. Okay, we're going to untangle those feet. We're going to grab that outside foot and bring it up. So if you can bring your heel all the way to your high knee, then you might need to like actually push your hips forward a little bit to get that stretch through that hip flexor. And remember, you can also take that foot back and lean into that front leg and push that leg back. We're trying to get through that front of that leg. I've been doing some good hip flexor stretching and workouts because this muscle works up into those abs, connects you, and helps with those lower abs and It's just a really good muscle to work on. Lots of people don't think about it, don't think about stretching it or working it. I have big hip flexors. The rest of my thigh is not defined at all, but darn it, my hip flexors pop out really, really well. Alrighty, so we're gonna go ahead and let that leg down. And we're gonna bring ourselves, I'm gonna bring ourselves to the center, and we're gonna wrap our arms around, so you're gonna round your back, and my knees are soft again, as you see. I'm gonna pull around my belly button, and just kind of lower my chin down, so I'm not gonna just set it on my chest, because I wanna be able to breathe and swallow. Breathing nice and high in that back, because we worked that back today, didn't we? And then we're gonna go ahead and come up. You're gonna turn your hands around and let's take them up towards the ceiling. Lift that belly up. Lift that rib cage up. And make sure those knees are soft. See me? I pushed them back, didn't I? Okay, soft knees. Okay, bring the hands around you. Okay, fingertips to the back so they face each other. Roll the shoulders down and back. And then we're gonna lean back. Okay, just through the waistline. So don't push your hips forward. And knees are soft still, and we're gonna just take that head back, alignment with the spine. You're not gonna just dump your head back. We're gonna take the shoulders, the chest, the rib cage, from the hips back, just as far as you can go. And then we're gonna bring it back forward. Oh, good job. Okay, so we're gonna bring one arm in front. Just get through those shoulders a little bit. I'm gonna open my legs up because we're gonna bring it up over our head here in a second. And then we're gonna go ahead and bring it up. And then we're gonna do a little bit of a side bend right here. Nice. And then we're gonna release it. I like that. And then off to the side. We're almost done here. Let's bring it up, get that tricep, hold on to that elbow if you can, and then do a little side bend. Ooh, relax those knees. Sorry. My hair is tickling me. And then we're gonna go ahead and, well, let's just hold it here for a second because that feels good. Okay, now bring it back up. Oh, okay, let's take 3 breaths in. Up we go. And then exhale back down. Again. And back down. One more time. And back down. All right, shake it out. All right, this is Joy from Enjoy Fitness 43. Thank you for being with me today on our Friday workout. You have a great weekend, and I will talk to you later. Have a great day. Bye.